On this episode of the Cheatcoders podcast, we are joined by dance music duo Midnight Pool Party as we discuss their music, story, and their process in creating their songs. We also talk about invisible aliens, headphone sunglasses, and the anti-encryption bill. Now let's start the show. Yo, what's up? This is another episode of the Cheatcoders. My name is Raph, and I am here with my usual suspects of Don Doing Stuff.
What's doing?
And Nathan Blazin.
What's blazing?
And this is a special episode. We've been getting a lot of special episodes lately.
A lot of special episodes.
Because we've been getting beautiful guests in the past.
Yep.
And now we're in the present with yet another marvelous guest.
I like that.
And they are... I can't really hype them up again. I'll probably edit that part in.
You know, this is going to be a good intro because now we're ready this time.
Yeah.
Because we did this already before earlier.
Okay, we had technical difficulties and now we're just restarting. So these guys...
It's gonna hype it harder.
All right, these guys have been killing it in Spotify.
Harder.
I saw that they dropped their yearly wrapped up on Spotify and they got about 1 million views. 1 million listens.
No way.
And that is a big deal for us. So
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are the
Big deal.
Midnight
That's a big
Pool
deal.
Party.
Thank you. What's up? How's it going?
There we go. All right.
That's
So
it. Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited. We wanted to, talk to you guys about your latest single, your latest single. Talk about your process and just talk shit with you guys because that's what we do on the Cheatcoders podcast. But first, I think what we'll get into the news.
all right. So the first article reads: aliens may have traveled to Earth already without us noticing.
I've heard this one before.
So
You guys heard of this?
Yeah.
before?
I have.
I don't know. Let's talk
So
about it.
apparently these aliens
Hmm.
have been on Earth already, but they came to a form that we can't see on the naked eye. So we can only see carbon-based forms, but they are not carbon-based, so they're kind of invisible. It kind of gets to the theory that maybe we haven't seen or experienced the supernatural, but it's extraterrestrial. So what's your thoughts on that?
So they're methane based.
Yeah. Like invisible. I believe in aliens, is what I was saying before.
For what?
There was a period in my life, sometime last year, when I would watch YouTube videos till the early hours of the morning about ancient aliens, and the theory behind that is they came way before the pyramids.
Way before the pyramids, so
Really?
that's like thousands and thousands of
Aztecs.
More like
Kind
millions
of.
of years.
Aztecs.
So all that Aztec shit. Can we swear on here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
All that
shit.
Aztec shit was based on aliens too.
Aztec shit.
This is gonna be a great episode.
Is
I know it's gonna be an amazing
Is,
episode.
is there a theory that the aliens built the pyramids?
Probably.
Yes.
I've heard that one.
Let's
Yeah.
talk to our
Many
expert, alien expert. On
Darren-
the
Darren has become the alien expert.
No, well, they
This is
say
recent.
that religion, and then I'm not going to get too religious about this, but they say that that the Bible stuff. Well, not. I'm going to talk about this, but that religion was based actually on aliens and stuff. And I've
Jesus
watched
was
way
an
too many
alien?
videos now to believe it. So, yeah, that's my thing at the moment. Yeah.
Jesus
So-
was an alien.
Yes, Jesus was.
That's why he could perform
Can we?
miracles.
That's
Yeah.
right. See.
That's why he could.
And they're
perform
saying the
It's-
angels came when they describe it in the Bible, not the Bible, the other documents. The way they described it was like angels coming down, but they just meant they were alien spaceships.
Oh,
Alien space.
right.
I'm
So
learning
now-
something new
Oh,
every
I like
single day.
the theory.
just
I
type
really
in
like that.
ancient aliens in YouTube. They'll be literally, you'll be
And
educated.
Just
I
spend
tell you.
hours and hours.
Ah, that's what I did. No unbeliever.
Or even in X-Men. In X-Men, Apocalypse was an ancient alien.
Yes, so maybe Apocalypse is Jesus.
That's right. See, X-Men is real.
X-Men is
We had a theory about this on a
Yes.
previous episode, where movies are just like reflections of real life. So maybe the mutants is a real thing.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
Jesus was a
aliens is a real
mutant
thing.
and
Yeah.
an alien.
He must be. He really must be.
Oh my goodness, this
We
is
got
some
this.
We're
good
gonna get in
stuff.
trouble for this.
We will. Oh,
Sorry,
well.
Mum. My bad.
Yeah, too. My parents will kill me too.
Shout out all of us. Has anyone experienced any extraterrestrial shit? As in, or rather than research, more in like
Like
have you-
probing.
Have you have you seen a spaceship, or have you seen an alien?
No.
Well, you can't see him.
Oh, yeah,
I thought you said we can't
apparently,
see
yeah,
them.
can't see 'em. Maybe that's the
carbon
reason.
based, but
But do you believe in this theory though, or is this just ridiculous?
Oh, look, I think anything's possible in the world these days. I think like, the universe is massive. Like, we are nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we are nothing. So I
Yeah.
believe that anything's possible.
But what is real?
Ooh,
that
that is
is
the
the
question.
question.
Oh, that comes to the fact that this is all fake and imagination of
Like the Matrix.
This could be Darren's world right now.
Things are only
He
real
created
because of
in
our
his
five
mind.
senses,
Oh, it'd be
right?
different if it was my world. I tell you.
Probing and shit.
Oh
man.
yeah.
So Nats, have you experienced any aliens? Because I know that you're into this whole
Conspiracy and theories.
supernatural, extraterrestrial, outlandish stuff.
On a serious note, I do believe that there are aliens. Obviously, like, what are the chances? Like the vast size of the universe, you can't tell me that we're the only ones here in that sense. That's pretty generic answer. But haven't they discovered aliens already on Mars? Not in a form of intelligent, but life form, like little microorganisms that already live in Mars.
I think they found water on Mars, but that
Yeah, I
was
think
it.
they found that.
water and shit. Yeah, they've got like not even just water, like literally like little bugs or some
Oh, I
shit.
don't know. That'd be
Like
cool.
that's
Was that
that's a
confirmed?
start,
But you know what?
That's
Like, I don't
something.
give a fuck if you find a bug. I want to find a thing. Like, I want to find a big thing. I don't
I
care
give
if
a
like
fuck
there's
about
50
the bugs,
ants,
though.
billions of ants. That's not interesting. Like,
NASA comes out and be like, "We found life on Mars." I don't give a fuck.
It's
it has to be like my size at least. You know? Like,
All right, so if it's not our size, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
like,
to
nah,
me,
you're
it
just a
doesn't
bug.
count.
You're not counted.
And they have that whole
Alright,
thing where
fair,
they
fair,
what's that
fair.
Area 51 where they keep aliens.
Roswell.
So do you
That's in
think
Nevada, bro. That's in Nevada.
Nevada.
That's in
Oh, okay,
America.
cool.
Firm believer.
Yeah, no, it's a secret. You don't
He
talk about
doesn't.
Nevada, yo.
So do you think that?
Fucking Nevada.
it. It's in Nevada, bro.
Do you think there's
Nevada,
different
bro.
races of aliens? Like there's the ones that you can see, and then the invisible ones, and there's could be water-based ones, bug ones, different planets.
This is animals. Okay, hey, I got a theory. If aliens come, do you think that'll unite humans so racism will be abolished?
No.
Well, it's
No,
gonna it's
man.
gonna be just a bigger version of racism. It's planetism
Yeah.
or something like that.
depends what their powers are, I
Nah,
suppose.
that's some bullshit,
on their
isn't it?
No, seriously, you don't even know how
You
they're
haven't seen,
straight.
Yeah,
you haven't
yeah.
seen Independence Day. You haven't
That's
seen
it.
Independence Day. That brought everyone together.
What?
Just depends.
I reckon the terrorists in America will be like a mad collabo.
Oh my god, we're going there. He's going in on that. We're gonna get this podcast is gonna get banned. The government's gonna come in and ban this podcast.
Kill the aliens featuring the terrorists. It's a track by Earth.
To the Taliban and the US Army get
Jesus.
together.
Oh man.
Let's shoot these
What,
fucking
what?
aliens.
Oh man.
Hot track.
All right. Segue to something else that's a bit outlandish. What is the there's this article saying that there's these headphones that can turn into sunglasses.
Yeah. So Bose has
Mine does that now.
Bose
What do you
has,
mean?
taken that concept of sunglasses and embedded like electronics in the thing so that
Bose have.
yeah Bose.
Like around the ear part.
yeah it is.
That's such a dad thing, like a Filipino dad thing.
It is such a dad
Like
thing.
my dad
That's
can
already
see that.
So
invented.
not cool.
You haven't seen that.
Is it
It's
not?
You don't think it's cool? I think it's cool.
Well, it depends.
Oakley's have with that already.
Oh no, they do.
It's like
Also,
it's
sunglasses
like
with
those sunnies
headphones in
that can
them.
turn to
Yeah,
glasses
yeah.
into sunnies.
Yeah.
It's not cool at all.
What?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
it just depends. It'd
I
be-
thought it was headphones, and then you flip it down, and then it's sunglasses. Like the band on the top. It's for the
I guess it
audio
depends.
listeners.
It depends on the purpose. I feel like that would be good. If depends.
Because there are already headphones that have like the bone induction where
Correct,
it's just
yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah.
not plugged into your
You're
ear.
right.
It's just plugged
Yeah.
underneath your ear.
I haven't- oh, that'd be cool.
And I think that's what they're doing with that stuff. And it's so that you can wear these glasses and it doesn't look like you're actually
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
it doesn't look
Yeah.
like you're actually listening to anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
cool.
it's pretty much how like we're just getting ways for the
That's a bit dangerous,
for
isn't
the
it?
for the agencies out there to just listen to us while looking like they're just not listening to us.
Yeah, probably.
So alien technology, basically.
Alien technology and the government is out there to get us.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
so good.
much. Like now, everyone's wearing sunglasses. It's gonna be suspicious.
I suppose it's just easier to carry it around if you have a double purpose thing. Do you know what I
Ah.
mean? It's probably.
You're gonna wear sunglasses everywhere you go. Look, Matt. Yeah,
Yeah, I
this guy's a sick cunt. He's
But, you know.
fucking. He's got glasses and headphones.
It's just better to have two purposes for one
This
thing.
cunt's
I'm
mad.
surprised that hip hop hasn't taken this as a pro way to promote. Like
Yeah.
where the headphones in the studios that turn into
Sure.
sunglasses. That'll look friggin' hip.
It'd be look
Like
cool, man.
Rick Ross and
Maybe it was invented like already 30 years ago.
Maybe.
Because all the rappers were wearing sunglasses
That's
inside.
true.
oh,
Maybe they were highly
Oh
tech
no, that's
before we knew
not
that.
a bad idea.
technology is always coming out 30 years before they're invented. I reckon.
Correct, yeah.
And then this could be
That's
a thing.
true.
This could be like a
That's
secret
true.
CSI type of thing, where they had it all along, and now it's like, oh, we need to get more money to fund this project, so we're just gonna sell these sunglasses.
Yeah, they already have iPhone 20 already in the back.
Yeah, they know about it for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like headphone sunglasses by Dre or something like that.
Yeah.
Sunglasses by Dre.
It's the worst.
Speaking of governments trying to spy on us.
Okay, here we go.
The next
article.
the other article that we want to talk about is the Australian government has passed a new legislation that will allow law enforcement authorities to force tech companies to hand over user information. So they've just passed this this new law, this new bill. It's called the
I
Assistance
thought they could do that already.
and Access Bill. No. So what they've done is they're allowing agencies to get access to our own personal information.
Yeah.
ISPs at the moment aren't allowed to give out information,
That's right.
but the government has just passed that bill, the AAB, to allow a selected number of agencies to request that information. And I think the list of the agencies was about 178 different agencies.
What type of agencies are we talking?
But what kind of info?
Yeah.
And what kind of
I guess it
info?
depends.
Oh, man,
if you start-
whatever info they
info
want to get
can't be
from you.
bad.
Like if it,
What kind of info?
say they're like, oh, this Nathan Blazin guy sounds suspicious. Let's tap his internet. You know what I mean? They check out what you're
But
looking
they
at.
can only check out the agencies that I've hooked up
Like
with.
RedTube.
No. The agency. No.
I think that's the way around it.
it.
I think you just surround your history with just weird porn. And
This
be
guy's
like,
just
fuck
a
it, I don't
porn
want to go through
thing.
this.
That's all he is.
Watch
No,
some
no,
really
nothing's
fucked up
wrong with
shit
him.
too. Like,
No. The agencies. It's not the agencies you go through. It's the agencies will request from the ISP. Do you understand?
Right, okay.
see, but I feel like people are hacking
Right,
hardcore these days anyway. So I think, I mean, that's still bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just, yeah, no, I don't think that's a good thing.
And
I'm not making excuses for it. It's just not a good thing.
there were only two politicians that actually sat in opposition for
That.
for that bill. The suspicion is that they pushed the bill so that they look like they're strong. They're putting a strong stance on anti-terrorism. Like, oh, we need this because terrorists.
Oh,
are
there's
gonna-
more to it.
Yeah, that's
Always
still
more
fucked
to
up.
it.
All right, well,
But
fair.
isn't
It's
Google
against
doing that?
terrorists. I didn't see anything wrong with
Like
that.
getting our information.
But information is power, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's true. And that could get leaked, that could get hacked, that could get... So
Yeah.
even if they're doing it for one purpose, someone else is going to use it for another purpose. So, oh God.
So moral of the story is don't use the internet.
let's not use
Don't
the
go on
internet,
RedTube that
Close, close this.
except for when you're listening to the Cheatcoders podcast.
That's
Which
it.
is now available on Spotify and iTunes.
I'll feel sorry for everyone if this is the only source of information that they get. If this podcast is the
Why?
only source of information they get, then
Why? It's a bit of
Yeah.
entertainment,
We'll talk about
education.
aliens.
Education.
The government just wasted their time.
Read a book.
passing
Read a
that
book
bill.
now. Just
Real talk. Though.
all right. So let's move on to our
Yeah.
cheat coders intermission song. So for this, we usually get a local talent song to be played while we just chill out. And since you're our musical guest,
Oh.
would you like to request one of your songs to be played in this intermission?
Might as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever. Do what you feel like.
Disease.
Oh no!
Oh,
that's
hey.
a wrong song. Is it really your favorite song?
I love that song, dude. It's like my
All right.
like my
And it
wake
happens
up
to be on my phone already.
Oh, wow.
So here we go. We'll just play Disease by Midnight Pool Party.
I was joking. You could have played something new. Sorry. My bad.
It's leading me to believe you got no shame. You're running on empty, your supply is dry. So you take what you get, but it's never the same high. Then you just fall to your disease. Everybody in town seems to know your name. It's leading me to believe you got no shame. You're running on empty, your supply is dry.
Nice.
And that was Disease by Midnight Pool Party.
Midnight Pool
How
Party.
old is that song?
2000. I'd say that's 2013. I think.
What's
No,
it-
that's a
what's it
lie.
say on Spotify?
Wow.
That's a lie. 2014.
No way.
4
That's-
years.
That's old.
That's very old.
And you were just talking about how it was completely different vibe or
Yeah.
sound than
Yeah.
what you are looking for now. Or was
yeah,
it-
it was just a bit more experimental than what we would normally do, as Ollie was saying.
Yeah, correct. We experimented with a lot more synths, a lot more
Yeah.
arpeggiators.
Yeah.
You could hear in the breakdown part, there's like these noises going, like
Yeah,
weird
crazy
shit
stuff.
going on.
Yeah.
Want to like
So, which of the drugs did you take to?
Heartbreak. That's what
Acid.
drugs we took.
oh, you took heartbreak. I took acid.
I think that's the
took
best
acid.
drug for music.
That's it. That's it.
But for the audience that don't know your music and your style, would you like to describe what type of music you do?
Oh gosh, everyone always asks me this, and I find it really hard to be honest. And I don't even know why, because I know what we make. I don't know. It's a little bit of. It's definitely heavily disco influenced.
Yeah.
But I think the thing when we say that is everyone assumes when you say disco, it's like the Bee Gees and like old school Diana Ross. But
Yeah,
we
go back to the 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everyone. When I say disco, everyone thinks that's what our influences are. But our influences have always been disco from many different eras, like
Yeah.
Jamiroquai, Daft Punk, and all these new guys from Australia. Like it's just disco has gone through time.
Yeah.
So we're just doing our sort of interpretation of it, I suppose.
If you were to give it a name, like something disco, like modern disco, what name would you give it?
A modern disco.
I don't know because.
Fuck.
What do you mean though? Like, like the
if you-
genre? Or?
Yeah, give it a genre name.
Well, I don't know because I don't think we do much different to what other people do. So I don't think we're creating necessarily a new sound.
Right.
So I still think it's a lot of what dance music is now, especially in the Australian dance scene. I don't think it's anything other than a dance still. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah. So, yes, that's my take on it.
So it's more like
Yeah.
a disco influenced dance
Yeah,
music, modern
definitely.
dance.
Yeah.
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 It's
Nice.
still dance.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
dance
that's the
music.
goal anyway.
Dance music is, can
Yeah.
be anything, right? Hip hop's dance music,
Yeah, it can
essentially.
be dance
You can
music,
dance
yes.
to it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Depends
Interpretation,
on the
right?
type of dance. So
Like booty grind and dance.
strip club music.
That's dance.
That is.
It is a dance.
that is also a dance. Yeah,
It's
twerking
It's
is a
interpretation.
dance.
Special type of dance.
Yeah,
But
but you
like-
pay for.
Yeah, the vibes that come from your music, it's very dancey. It's very upbeat.
Yeah.
But I noticed that in some of the other songs, there's one song that starts off like a ballad. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
Collide?
Yeah, I think it was Collide. It starts off like an R&B ballad, and then
Wait.
it drops like after the the intro and the first verse or something.
Which
it drops.
song? Which song?
Vulnerable.
Hold on.
I wrote it down. Signals. It's Signals.
Oh, that was the
Oh,
one before.
shit,
Yeah,
that was,
I like that song. That's.
That was our first song that we
did ourselves.
We
completely
wrote,
Did ourselves.
mixed, and mastered
Produced ourselves, yeah.
by ourselves. So
Nice.
That was a
weird
bit of a
one.
test the water thing because our manager was like, okay, we're not spending any more money on the next, you're going to do it yourselves.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, when we've learned a lot when we did the last EP anyway. So we did it and we were happy with it.
Yeah. And to your question, the whole R&B feel, that's Darren's domain. Darren is heavily influenced by R&B. I do a lot of production
Yeah.
with the disco, with the house, with the dance.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I
then
think, yeah. Sorry.
that's the two genres connecting
Yeah.
together. So that's why you could hear that influence coming through.
I
So-
think ideally we have the same influences for Midnight Pool Party. Like we both listen to the same things, but we also both don't listen to the same things.
Yeah.
Which is works. I
Yeah.
think we felt. I mean, we worked long enough to find our groove with each other. So yeah, it is what it is now.
go down to that deep house area.
Yeah.
So when you guys do your like your creation of music, how does it start? Does Darren come up with a melody, or do you come up with a guitar lick, or like the groove, or how does like what are the beginnings of a Midnight Pool Party song?
Depends.
Each one's different.
Yeah, every one of them has been different.
Yeah.
You'll be actually surprised that sometimes Darren comes up, hey, I have a piano, vocals, and that's it.
And a shitty drum and a shitty bass.
Yeah.
Take what you could do with.
And I go there and just absolutely just murder the shit
Yeah.
and just churn it out into a dance track.
Yeah.
But it's weird because we
Yep.
we would sit with it
Yep.
and we would just make decisions on it together. Like, no, change this,
Yep.
change that, change that. He engineers most of it at the time. He just works faster than I do anyway
Yep.
when we're in the actual session. But because we've done it now so many times, we know exactly how to fine tune things quickly. Like, that's not a bass we would normally. No, next bass,
Yeah.
nah, next hat, next hat. So,
Literally 30 minutes before you guys came here, we had 30 minutes to spare, and we literally wrote a song,
yeah.
and it's
Nice.
halfway
Well,
done.
yeah, we work faster these days now, only because we have a sound now, like
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
stuck with. So
And and exact same process. Piano, vocals. I went in there, just added a few bass lines, added a few kicks, added a few hats, and that was it.
yeah,
That's essentially the skeleton of it.
Yeah.
And then all the little pretty parts is going to be the muscles and the skin and all the
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
stuff behind it. So, yeah.
but in saying that, we were saying earlier, it's funny that there's sometimes we would spend like a year writing and everything is rubbish. And
Yeah.
then we'd have like 4 weeks, the last 4 weeks we've written like 4 songs and we're like, oh, this is amazing. What's going on? Like, so it
I like
does
that.
like we work the same way all the time, or, you
Mm.
know, sometimes we work a little bit different, but it's the content that comes out is always different. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I like that.
Mm.
That's cool.
What was
You know
that?
when you start a project, so do you, whenever you guys have like a main project in the works, I guess like the way with your working style, is it more so based on spontaneous? Because you know some
Yeah.
artists they plan, it's like by this time I'm gonna have this mixtape
Oh.
created, because I can't work on a schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's taken me like 5 years and there's nothing come out. But like
It
I
happens.
get what you mean about like you'll get a feeling, right? You do
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
track, you're like, fuck, that was hectic. And then suddenly you get like 6 tracks and you're like, I guess it's a mixtape now. Or something like that.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The thing is, we
know what I mean?
we do have a schedule. It's not necessarily strict,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you want to make music and you need to release something, right? You don't want to leave it for like
Yeah,
another
yeah.
12 months.
Yeah.
But it happened to
That's
us.
cool. That's really good.
We happened to us. Like we had the EP out. And before we wrote the one we're about to come out now, we literally didn't write anything for 8 months. Everything was completely shit.
Yeah.
And we had all these files, and we had like
And it's frustrating, right?
Terrible.
It's frustrating as shit.
It's terrible. And then we just sat down and said, look, we went to Starbucks and we said, let's have a meeting. There's something going on with us. We have no idea.
Yeah,
We, like
that's
the
true.
manager was like, okay, by next year, we wanted to bring something out. And
Yeah.
then we just like kind of kicked ourselves in the ass and said, you know what? Like,
That's really good.
we're stressing ourselves out about
That's really
nothing. We're overthinking the lyrics. We're overthinking everything we use. Let's just write. And
Yeah.
then after that one meeting, we literally wrote the whole EP within a month. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
it was-
God, what is happening? It's so
That's
crazy.
that's
That's what you
crazy.
need sometimes.
It's crazy
Just
how
need
that
a
happens.
refresher.
I love that.
I think
I love
Starbucks
that how
is
that
really the
happens.
key
It's cool.
component in here.
Yeah, I realized
Shout out
with
Starbucks.
artists, you know when
Plug.
I think maybe like Don and
This is how this podcast started. A
Oh,
meeting in
right.
Starbucks.
See?
So a meeting in
Sponsor
Starbucks
us, sponsor us, Starbucks.
really
That's
kicks things off.
me and Raf sat down and I started recording on my phone. It's like it's begun, and we just started talking.
Yeah. And that was the first
That's history
podcast.
writing there.
That was an unreleased one, and then we released the first episode.
Then we
with-
went.
in
Then we're
car.
like, you know what? I got
Oh,
mics
that's funny.
in the car.
Starbucks.
Let's actually do this. So we went to the car park.
That was
But
a
how,
catalyst.
how long ago was that?
a
Yeah,
year
when was
ago.
that?
Our
year
birthday
ago.
of the podcast was December 2.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That was this week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Interesting, right?
All right, back to you guys.
Oh, God.
we just hijacked
Well, no,
it.
we're going to interview you, actually. I'm sick of this. We're going to interview you.
How do you like it?
So, why Midnight Pool Party? Like, is there a significance to the name?
Fuck.
No, you know what? We changed our name to Midnight Pool Party in 2012.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, still to this. No, there was
Because
a
the
thing.
previous name was shit.
It was the previous name was shit, but I do remember it was we both decided on it because you said pool party and I said no, it needs something else to it.
Yes.
And I think we added the element of midnight just because at the time there were lots of
It's a cool name.
well, there was
It was
also lots of
sultry, it
parties,
was
and I
sexy.
figured midnight was a time where you get more emotional, like you have more of an emotional
Yeah.
connection to.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Stop
Nothing.
taking my lines.
Do you ever perform at midnight at a pool party? Have you ever done that?
We
You
performed
guys
close.
should do that.
I've been wanting to do that for ages, but there's never
Alright,
really.
could you do
Yeah,
that,
that's a
Elise?
good
That'd be
topic
so
you brought up
cool.
because our last guest, the Deep Things podcast, one of the guys, he has he's organizing a pool party in the West, and he's been trying to
Done.
contact you
He
guys.
could contact
Who?
us, but
Yeah.
this.
Did you delete his?
No, I didn't delete his message. No, I didn't delete your message if you're watching. I just said to email our manager because he takes care of our bookings. But I haven't. I forgot about that. I should check. Because I thought it was cool. I'm like, that's really cool. Of course, like we would do that. That's amazing. So no, I didn't. I didn't delete your message.
You know what would be really cool? Like New Year's Eve when the ball drops, you guys start.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Midnight.
That'd be
New
sick.
York.
Bang.
New York or Miami or
Times
somewhere.
Square.
With
Imagine that. With a giant pool.
Poo, a giant poo.
The turd coming down.
Speaking of gigs, like, what is your dream gig? Is there like a scenario that like,
God.
is the pool party a dream gig, like in midnight or in New Year's?
I don't know. What do you?
No. I mean, actually, any good.
Anything's good for us. We just love it.
Book
Yeah.
them, guys, book them. Midnight pool party.
Just book them. Book them.
I think the festivals. I want to do a round of the
Yeah.
festivals one day, or the ones we like. You know, the big ones. Anything really.
Coachella would be
Tomorrowland.
hey.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrow.
You know, if you want to go big, let's go big.
Yeah.
Coachella, all those major festivals would be amazing to play at.
Burning Man.
Imagine that.
Burning Man.
Damn.
I even would love to
Yes.
just go and spend like a month or two in America and just see if we could like get gigs in America, because I feel like we'd get gigs in America. Do you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of our listeners come
Yeah.
from North America anyway. So
I think they have more of a
Cool.
scene than here at the moment, anyway, too. So
Very true.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's interesting when we look at our Spotify, because in America there's a lot of niche
yeah,
places,
Mm.
and there's a heavily disco
yeah,
following, because
Yes.
there's so many stations that
Yeah.
cater to that
yeah.
genre. So that's where a lot of our listeners come from,
Yeah.
and it's interesting that people actually fucking talk to us, saying,
Yeah, it's
"Come
weird.
here, come there." I'm like, fucking-
We
are you
can't.
gonna-
We'd love to.
Are you gonna pay for
But we
fucking
can't.
flights?
Yeah.
Fuck. But anyway.
So you semi made it in that sense, because
No,
like when
no,
you hear
no.
that random people saying "come here, come there," like it seems like that's one of those stepping stones
Yeah, I
of
suppose.
making it.
I don't know, but I feel like if you have any content out there, at some point someone's going to come across
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're big or not big, but it's just lucky that we had a bit
Yeah.
more people following us. But I
Mm.
think you're just lucky if you do, lucky if you, unlucky if you don't. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. It's
Yeah.
just nice to know.
yes,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, shout outs to the Midnight Pool. Is there a name for your
Yeah,
fans?
is a name for the fan group?
The Midnight Poolers?
The
Parties?
the
Pool
pool boys
parties.
and girls.
Pool
don't know.
boys
I
and
like that
girls.
one. I like that one.
I don't
The
know.
Midnight Pool Boys.
Never thought
and
about it,
girls.
to be honest.
Yeah,
We
the
should come
pool
up with
boys,
a name one
pool
day, though.
girls, the pool boys,
The pool boys.
and the pool
La,
girls.
la, 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 la. That's what I call them. The pool boys. La, 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 la.
I was gonna say, like, going back to like the inception of the name.
Yes.
That could have been a great opportunity for you guys to just make up any story, and be like, oh yeah, we were on this rooftop and we were. At the pool
Oh no, it
party."
was massive. It was boring.
Why though?
We were literally here.
But it was a time when it was summer. I remember it was around summertime.
Yeah.
And there was that one time we spent New Year's together at Ricky's house, and I cried next to the pool. 'cause
Oh,
I
you
was
did,
so
you
drunk.
pussy.
And I said, I
Yeah.
really want to make it. I really want to make it. It was around that time.
was.
It was around that. So maybe there is a
So
reason.
there's
for
there's a
this.
sad story.
So it was a sad story. There was a time I was like really upset about music. I'm not upset. I was just like really hopeful in life about making it. And I was heavily intoxicated. Don't get me wrong. And I said, Ollie, come here to the pool, to the pool area. I'm like, I really want to do well next year. Let's do it. And I was crying. And he was like, it's fine, bro. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was around that time. It was a time when we were like changing quite a lot.
Yeah.
So-
And then after the name change, we wrote our first song.
Yes.
Then after we released that song, that's when we got our manager.
That's right.
And that's the first time we played live at what was it?
Oxford Art?
Oxford Art Factory.
No.
Good God Small Club.
Yes, it probably was.
We
I don't know, it
We
was
played a
somewhere.
gig, and then our manager was there, and he approached us after that gig and said, "Hey, I want to manage you guys."
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! And then rest is
Nice.
history, right? So
Yeah.
it was,
That's
it was after that conversation
Yeah.
and the name change.
It just started
That it
happening.
just sparked.
We just got lucky, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
we actually did release the first single ourselves. Remember, we just didn't have it on all platforms. We just had it on SoundCloud.
Correct. Yeah.
And I remember that time, around that time, I would be staying up, have a template email, and I'd send it to all these blogs. I'd stay up all night and replying. And then we just got lucky that this guy, Hugh, he said, "Oh," I said it was like a blog, it's called Indie Shuffle, and we wanted to get on that. That was one of our blogs that we wanted to get on. He's like, "Oh yeah, cool." He emailed back saying, "Cool, yeah, I'm happy to put this on." But he said to Jez, our manager, "Hey, there's these guys you need to check out called Midnight Pool Party. It's kind of your thing, like a disco thing."
Yeah.
So he checked us out, and then he started following us and contacting us. So we just really got fortunate, to be honest, to get that kind of foot in the door. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's just been managing all of our releases,
Yeah,
managing our
just been really
bookings, managing our gigs and all that.
Nice.
So, and that's what helps us to create
Keep
because,
going. Yeah.
you know, he picked us up, so we want to impress him. He gives us deadlines, so we have to work. So that helps us in order to, one, forcefully be creative.
Yeah.
But as Darren said, sometimes you can't be. We had an 8-month stint of not doing anything
Yeah.
because we were just
You just can't force yourself sometimes.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
so. Yeah, shit. That was our whole
Yeah.
story.
You know what? I just realised that is our story, but we've never really talked about it
Yeah,
that
we never
much.
really
So
talked
it's
about
really
it.
weird.
That is
crazy.
that's a really good story. I
Yeah.
think whenever someone asks you where did the name come from, well, we're at this
Watch
pool
the
party.
podcast.
Oh, yeah. Do it that way.
That's how I'm going to do it now. Watch the podcast.
So you pretty much had a New Year's resolution, and you actually went
Essentially-
with it.
Yeah, that was the same year. We just came
That's
to
a
a realisation about that now.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Good one.
And that was 2014. You said.
No, that would have been 2012 or 13.
Oh, okay.
'Cause we
12 to
changed our name in
13.
12, and we knew 13 then. Yeah,
And then our manager picked
That's
us up
cool.
in start of 2013.
13. Yeah,
Fuck, it's a long time.
that's a very long time ago. It feels like ages now, actually.
How long have you been like as a duo?
Fuck.
Oh,
That's-
we've seen you guys
Yeah.
from ages ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since
That was like
then.
2007. I
God,
think.
that's a long. We were babies.
2005?
All of us
No.
were babies.
Was it
Mm.
2005?
Something
Potentially.
like that. Yeah.
We were young.
But
Okay.
we just did it as a fun thing to start off with. You
Yeah.
know what it was like. We just played what we can and just played the songs we liked.
Yeah.
And then at some point, we're like, we both know we want to do this as a serious thing. Let's cut the shit. Let's change the name. Let's delete everything of everything. Let's
That's
write
cool.
a real. Let's just be songwriters
Rebrand.
now.
Yeah.
Let's rebrand.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. And everyone was like, "You changed your name. That's a shit name. What is this?" But we were like, "No, people
No,
are just
the
gonna
previous
get,
one was
people are gonna
shitter.
get used to it, and they're not even gonna remember what you used to do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just
Yeah,
stuck
that's
to
so
it,
true.
and it worked.
Yeah, even before Midnight Pool Party, we had regular gigs every second week,
Yeah,
playing covers, and it was amazing. It was a great time.
it was a fun
But
time.
we had to really look at ourselves and say we're not going to get anywhere by
Yeah.
just playing covers all the
For
bloody time.
what we wanted to do,
Yeah.
it's cool to do that. I would still love to do that.
Yeah.
But for what we wanted to do, we
Yes.
just knew we had to stop
Mm.
and just
Yeah.
change it up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Nice.
yes.
We were talking about genres before, and we're talking about Midnight Pool Party, and I know, Darren, you've got some of your
Oh, yeah.
own stuff.
Yes.
That's a little more R&B. It's a completely
Yes.
different genre to
Yeah.
Midnight Pool Party. How did that stuff come about? Were you both involved, or was that just purely?
It was at a time when we weren't doing much. Like
Yeah.
I said, there was a period where we weren't working properly. We didn't have any songs out.
Yeah.
And I just had that song. I write all the time anyway, whether it's going to be a Midnight Pool Party song or whether I stop and then leave it, move on to a Midnight Pool Party thing. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Midnight Pool Party is the bread and butter for us.
Correct.
I would never really just stop it and do this because that to me was just it's something I needed to do.
Creative outlets.
Yeah. And one of the guys that my manager manages, CLN, who's in Brisbane, he does those kind of beats. That's his because he produced that thing, and I just sort of showed him.
Is that the Love Me song?
Yeah, both of them actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I showed him the song, the demo I wrote. He's like, "Yeah, cool. I'd love to produce it," and it just happened twice because we weren't releasing anything at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if this is going very well, that probably that's is
Yeah.
the most important thing because we have a momentum for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also got to remember that we're both creators
In general.
in our own right.
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot of influences.
Yeah.
He can write melodies. I can produce. I
Yeah.
can write beats for fucking anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Midnight Pool Party, as you said, is an outlet.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone says, "Hey, Midnight Pool Party, do you want to write a song for this person?" We're like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
hell
yeah, why
yeah.
not? We can fucking do whatever the fuck we
Yeah.
want." Because we got fucking heaps of fucking beats.
yeah. There's
But-
literally just files that we have stored away.
Yeah,
not
but we
opening it.
always have to assessing: is this Midnight Pool Party enough? Maybe not.
Yeah,
Fucking, if it's not,
like that.
fucking file it away. But our catalog, there's heaps.
Yeah.
Right. But does it fit in the style of Midnight Pool Party? Probably not.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do with those.
But that's the thing. You have to be. For me, I think the thing that worked for us is that you have to be really strict with your branding. Like
Yeah.
it's cool and all. Like I would love to work with every single person that said, "Let's work on a song together." Yes, I would, because I love music.
Yeah.
Music's the best thing in the world,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense if you work with everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of has to work with what we're doing at the moment. And I don't mean that as a dig at anybody. It's just it is a brand at the moment. We both have to think of both of us and this thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So at some point in time, I think in the future we will be able to work with everybody just because
Yeah.
we can. But at the moment we can't. We need to really
Yeah.
fine tune it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And if
Yeah.
Marilla or Darren were to work with someone else, which he's done, fuck it. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
his creative outlet. His name is still attached to Midnight Pool Party
Exactly.
in a way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I know Midnight Pool Party also does remixes, and you guys released a remix of that Lord song,
Oh yeah, I forgot we did that.
Dynamite.
Shit.
Yeah,
can't
We barely do them.
believe you remember that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We do them as fillers. If you notice that, we only do it when we have time, like when we.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But we also be very, very selective with them. We're
Yeah.
very
With,
selective.
like when you did that remix, was that this remix is going to be a Midnight Pool Party remix, or was that just going to be we're going to remix this for fun? Because that was a Triple J competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't
first.
enter it in the Triple J
Yeah.
competition.
Oh, because it was late, wasn't it?
We were late to that.
Yeah. Honestly, we saw the competition and I started to play around with it because I just wanted to get the samples because they're free. So
Free samples.
So,
Free
So I
samples.
just took the samples and then started playing around with it. And then went to this place and then showed it to Darren, and Darren said, yeah, it sounds hectic. Then added a bit more stuff. He added his own flavor to it, added a few more things, said, I don't like that, so I like that. Whatever the case is. And that's how the process went. And that's how the remix came to be. And
Nice.
did we officially release it?
We did it only. So we don't release remixes officially. We put them on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
We only
Yeah.
did one official remix, and that was for Kilter.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only one we got asked
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah, that's right.
But everything else we just put on SoundCloud. Only when we have time to do remixes.
Yeah.
We do them as a filler, just for the fans, I suppose.
Did they get
Nice.
played on Triple J?
No.
KLP?
The other one did.
Oh, the Kilter
Kilters
one.
did, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
And I know some artists will have like remixes of their songs
Yeah.
done. And I know you guys had some other producers remix some of your songs. When you think about like when you guys reach out to producers and things like that, do those producers have to have the same kind of sound, or do they have to like have a completely different sound to whatever Midnight Pool Party is when it comes to remixing your tracks?
It's a good one, actually.
Well, I think we used to do that with the first few singles we had. We had people remix on them.
Correct.
With the release.
Yeah.
And I think it does have to also make sense to us.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be interesting to have someone not be sounding like us. That's the point of a remix. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think when we
Hate
do
to
our
remix
things, we
that.
have our strict, thing.
Yeah.
But if we had to get
Yeah.
a remix of one of our next tracks, it'd be cool to have a different thing.
Yeah,
you
if
know?
anyone's out there.
Yeah.
Like a country version.
Fuck yeah.
Why not?
Fuck yeah.
Why not,
I'll
you
be
know?
That'd
so
be cool.
I'll be so impressed.
Why not? You know?
I'll be so impressed. I'll be
It'd just be cool to hear people.
That'd be so cool.
'Cause
We
it's
might
your
even do like a
interpretation.
remix competition one day. Just put our stems out there. Wait, that's
I
not
reckon you should.
official.
Yeah.
I would love to do that though. I would love to. Let's put the stems out.
You heard it first here, guys.
That's not a promise. That's just a plan.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Where's the download link? Where's the download link?"
Speak to the manager.
So, like this is a question for each of you guys. Like,
Yeah.
what has been probably one of your most proudest tracks that you've made, or most personal tracks that you've made out of your whole catalog? It could be from like the before Midnight Pool Party, or like after, or probably a couple of days ago.
Well, most of them, because I write the lyrics of most of them,
Yeah.
so a lot of them are very fucking personal anyway. But
Which
my
one is the
my favorite
most
one is
personal?
Collide from the last EP. No, my favorite one is Collide from the last EP. I don't know why I like that one a lot. It gives me the feels.
Nice.
In terms of me, most challenging one was Collide. Actually, I will agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it
Because that was a totally different way of writing
yeah.
and a very experimental in terms of how I produced. Because
Yeah, you're
usually there's
right.
a certain formula on how I produce, and there's a certain way I like to work. But for this one, I really had to capture what Darren wanted in his head.
Oh, that's right.
Darren had his vision in his head, and I said, okay, let me try and get that out of you
Yeah,
and
that's
into
right.
the screen and into the speakers. And it was fun to do that. That's
was
why
fun
it
to
was a very proud moment of me producing that. because it was someone's idea and it was exactly what he wanted. And
That's so cool.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was,
You know what's funny when you say that? When he says that, right? This is actually what happens. I go, this is what it sounds like. Boom, 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 boom. And I would sing everything I could hear in my head to him. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And I would sit there, I go, and the bass would go, boom, boom.
literally.
Every time we work,
He
I'm
just
like,
makes noises.
I've got it in my head. You need to listen to what I'm singing. Boom, boom, boom. That's exactly how we work.
Yeah,
most
it's
of the
actually
time.
just him, like on the vocals, saying that, and I just sampled that.
So you make a vocal demo tape.
Yeah, it's no, there's no drums, there's no
that's-
synths.
that's
It's just him going
just
warp, warp,
Fucks
warp.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
But that's
it.
how we work
I
sometimes.
like it a lot.
yeah. Seriously, like we're so in sync now that
Yeah.
whatever he's thinking and he says
Yeah.
or sings out, I could find out what he's thinking and
Yeah.
put it onto a keyboard.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So Ollie, in terms of, because you've experienced all these emotions from Darren
Yeah,
through his music,
So draining.
do you have like a in your programs? Do you have like a set emotion for each thing? Like
Yeah,
sad
sad.
Darren, happy Darren. So like when he brings out a song and you hear like the first few lyrics,
You're like, okay, this
okay,
synth is
let's
sad.
get
Darren.
sad Darren with
or anything sort of like
it's not
that.
called sad Darren, but there is a certain vibe that, you know, if it's more, it's got a lot of like phases, it's got a lot of flanges. It's like a moving synth that makes it a bit more sadder, so to speak. So there is depending what Darren's feeling, we can definitely adjust on how the beat sounds and how
Nice.
the synth is as well.
That's
But yeah, but I might call it sad Darren synth.
I'm gonna get offended by that. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm sad as.
Pumped
Put
up
that, put that
Darren.
sample on. That is that sad day.
You're not making a beat for like in 2 minutes. It's like, how did you do that? It's like you just got
Sad Darren. Yeah, it's all presets.
But that, to be, you know, in saying that as well, that's a challenge because, like, in speaking about emotions of the tracks and stuff, all our songs before this EP have all come from like a really sad, like they're all kind of sad songs if you listen to them. The lyrics
Yeah.
are from like a breakup or something. So we both really tried to focus on not making it like that for the next EP, and it was I found it hard at first, but I think it worked because we are just in better places in our lives at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, so. Yeah, like we talk about emotions and stuff, but it does come through the music. Like when we wrote this, we were having fun. Like we would be at the desk, we were full dance and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that when we talk about the emotions of the sounds and everything, because it does play a huge part in it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you experienced like you wrote a song that you intended to be this particular emotion, but when it came to the producing part, it came out completely different. But then you were like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is more awesome than I thought it would be," leading it to a different direction rather than your direction.
All the time.
Yeah, 100%.
All the
But
time.
then sometimes we have to just regroup and say, okay, well, no. The beat's good, but the vision is not where we need to be.
Yeah.
So we have to assess,
Yeah.
tell things back, not get too hyped up, because
Yeah.
there are certain elements of music that will change the whole vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we are very wary of that.
Yeah.
And yeah. Because sometimes when you sing sad songs, I'm like, for fuck's sake,
Always.
can't we just
Yeah.
be
yeah.
upbeat and stuff?
Yeah.
It's all jacked up and shit.
I get that. Yeah. No, it's true. It happens.
Yeah, so, but we have to make sure that we're true to what the emotion is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nice. I had a question from Darren and I were talking about this before the podcast, and we were talking about doing shows and doing gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
What is each other's pre-ritual for doing gigs or for doing recordings and things like that?
I just take a piss and I walk around and do warm-ups while I wait for him for about 40 minutes.
I do a massive dump.
He does. He does.
Before this podcast, I did a massive shit.
See, he was. We were setting up, and I'm like, "Oh, Ollie's in the toilet."
Yeah. I just
And then I was like, is this one of your fears, having to let it all go on stage?
Nervous poos. I think it might be though.
I think because, like, you know, if you're playing up there, you get a bit sweaty, and then if you do need a little fart out, you don't know if it's going to be wet or my little shark might come out. So I feel like
You guys are really getting to know us.
I like to be clear of that
Yes.
and making sure that I'm fully flushed.
So
Like,
there's
all-
nothing.
there's
You're just clean.
It's just
You're
dry air.
yeah.
You know what I mean? No wetness behind it.
Well, at least you're being careful. It's better than an accident.
Irresponsible kids. before you.
Especially before getting on stage.
Yeah. And to help that process, I have a Red Bull. So that is. You do? Yeah, I have a Red Bull, so it just gets my stomach a bit, agitated. Gets me jacked up a little bit, jacked up for the dunny, then let it loose. And
But it works. We have good shows with it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
There you have it, guys. There's the
Exclusive.
life secrets to pre-rituals.
got to
If you want to
know
have a
that.
good gig,
Exclusives.
take a Red Bull, sponsor us, chuck a shit, and then you'll have a great gig.
We can get Kleenex as one of our
God.
as one of our sponsors for today.
Oh God.
Oh man.
On that note, let's thank the Midnight Pool Party
Yeah.
for being such great guests and
Thank you.
actually opening up more than we'd
More than-
expected.
oh,
That was
God.
cool, actually.
Are we ending on that? Is that our ending?
Yeah.
Just me taking a dump?
Oh, well, it's gonna have to be now.
we warned you that we're going to talk shit. That's
That
exactly
was
Literally
shit.
talk
That
shit.
was,
We literally
wrap that
did.
up.
Yeah, that was.
Talking
Was there
shit.
anything else that you wanted to say in terms of to your fans or to anyone that's listening in terms of being an artist that's been around for 15 years, your experiences, anything that you want to wrap up and give advice to the audience and who wants to be a musician?
As cliche as it sounds, and people say it all the time, just don't give up. That's all it is. We didn't give up. That's
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. Like
Nice.
that's all it really is. That's what I sum it up to.
Nice.
I would say just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You've got nothing to lose.
That's right.
Everything to gain.
Yeah.
People
That's
may
it.
not like your shit, but fuck them.
Yeah, the amount of doors that have been sent. People say all the time, like famous people. Not that we're famous, but when you go through stuff, people will say no to you all the time. Like in
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, there were important people that we needed to say yes that said no to us.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to just take it like it's their opinion. It's fine. Someone else likes your shit. So
Exactly right.
just keep going.
It's got to be resilient
Yeah.
and tenacious in your approach as well. You
Yeah.
really have to be, and you have to do the work, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you're just
Oh,
thinking
hell yeah.
about it and daydreaming it, you're
Yeah.
a fucking idiot.
No excuses
Sorry.
either. We can do full-time jobs. You can also do something outside of your full-time job because
100%.
yeah, that's the only way to do this. Like if you think about it, all the successful people in life were less fortunate than us. Like we have jobs and stuff. We can
Yeah.
pay for stuff. They were freaking poor, all these really big people, and they still made it. So like to me, that's like, well, I've got no
Yeah.
excuse. I couldn't do this. Like,
Yeah.
So yes.
Nice. I like that.
Definitely. Thank you once again for joining the podcast.
No worries.
This
Thanks
is
for
a really
having
good
us.
episode.
That was actually
Yeah.
really fun.
This is
And